Hello friends, I'm Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. I'm back from vacation. Tonight's a giveaway stream. We're going to do Q&A and have a little bit of a recap from a couple of days in Port St. Joe and Mexico Beach, Florida. Fair warning, I am just completely I'm just completely burned and exhausted from this vacation. So this is going to be a little bit of a low energy live stream. I do apologize. But yeah, I'm just whooped. That was that the Cinewhoop? Was that the I think that was the Cinewhoop. No. Is that the Cinewhoop battery? Hold on. 46. Yeah, that was Cinewhoop. That was the DJI Cinesplore, which you'll see here. Blew up a propeller. Cinewhoop propellers will make a sound when they're getting ready to explode. So listen out for that. for the most part, when you crash one of these, just replace all 4 propellers. That was my mistake. I crashed this at some point and didn't replace this propeller. But yeah, they'll tell you the props will tell you when they're kind of done and they're ready to die. So listen, and I flew that battery, and then I kind of noticed it after that battery, and I was like, okay, hold on. And then the next battery, I flew it out over grass, and I got really low, and I just hammered the throttle, and this propeller just blew all 4 blades off. Basically, like, it just bent props sound. The Cinewhoop propellers don't like to have bent props. So if you've got like a bent prop sound coming from your Cinewhoop, there's a problem. Don't ignore that. I got pretty lucky with that battery there that I didn't hammer. I mean, when you're flying a Cinewhoop, you usually shouldn't be hammering on the throttle. But yeah, I got lucky that I didn't have to hammer on the throttle at any point in that battery, because this could have happened over the ocean and I could have lost this rig and a Hero 10, which would have been just absolutely awful. So yeah, keep that in mind. It crashed to the grass and held up completely fine. There's not even like it didn't even like loosen up a duct. Unbelievable. The Cinesplore is just absolute and utter magic. That was also with some pretty serious wind. That the Port St. Joe, every time I've been there, is just crazy windy. That was like 25-ish miles an hour of wind. And with the CiottiFPV ducts, this was good to go. I could definitely feel the wind that I was having to lean into it quite a bit, and I was also kind of sliding a little bit. It was sliding to keep. There was a big ugly building on the right, so I chose to kind of yaw it like this and let it slide to have that ugly building not be in the shot. Might look a little bit awkward, but the main part of that shot was kind of going past the lighthouse, and it kind of worked for that. I was kind of using the wind to my advantage on the way up to the lighthouse. I was thinking about going to the left of it, but then I realized that with the way that the wind was pushing me to the right, if I'd wanted to go to the left of it, the damn thing wouldn't be in hardly at all in the shot, right? So like when you've got wind, you can either bitch and moan about it and like complain that the wind ruined everything, or you can fucking work with it and let it hopefully do something good for you. And in this case, it did. In this case, I allowed the wind. I let the wind. I used the wind to let me yaw left a little bit and keep the subject more in the frame. And then as I went by the subject, there was just more time that you got to have the top of that lighthouse like in the actual frame. And then I really wanted to yaw back to the right, but if I'd done that, it would have really started pushing me to the right towards that big ugly building that I was kind of trying to keep out of the shot. So I just kind of kept the rig yawed to the left a little bit. If you don't want to have too much of that, like when the lighthouse was in the shot, it kind of made sense. But then after the lighthouse is out of the shot, it feels a little awkward for your direction of travel to not be dead center. You can kind of get away with it a little bit, like if I'm doing it for you guys here. So like my direction of travel, this is dead center. My direction of travel was a little bit over here. I wouldn't want, like, you don't want to put it all the way over here. If your center point is all the way over here, it's going to look ridiculous. But you can cheat it a little bit. You can move it from like dead center here off a little bit, and it doesn't really look that weird. But yeah, you don't want to put it like way the hell off to the side. I'm actually going to swap out all four of these propellers, because no reason not to. You know, with a Cinewhoop, you don't go through propellers all that often. So when in doubt, swap them out. Also, little known fact, this is an OG fact. This is from the early days of UAV tech, actually. Mark Spatz did I think it was Mark, did a test ages ago where he did black box analysis of propellers that he'd flown a bunch, hadn't crashed them. He had just flown them a bunch versus fresh propellers, and the fresh propellers were noticeably quieter on the black box logs. Basically, what he attributed it to is that plastic fatigues, and we ask a lot of these propellers. Like when we go full throttle, we are asking the polycarbonate to really work, and it bends significantly. So yeah, I'll never forget that. Like if you've got a set of props that have been on your rig for a while and you just haven't been, maybe you just don't crash, or maybe just for whatever reason you haven't been crashing that rig. Yeah, if you've put, like, I don't know if there's an exact number to it, but like personally, like if I've put more than 30 or 40 batteries on the same set of propellers, just swap them out. Certainly if you've got propellers that you're like slightly crashing and bending them back straight, yeah, definitely like get those off. But even if you've got a set of propellers that you have not crashed, but you've put 20, 30, 40 batteries on, props are so cheap, just pop them off and just throw a new set on. You know, they'll have less grass stains on them, and you won't have to deal with any weirdness. That can be, you know, with cinewhoops, that's something that's going to happen for sure, right? Because we're not crashing them. So yeah, with cinewhoops, just if you can't remember the last time, and I can't remember the last time that I changed the props out on this rig. If you can't remember that, switch them out. It's $3-4, and it could prevent you from losing the whole damn rig. So yeah, there's a little bit of OG tech for you. I'm starting to wonder if it was Mark. Yeah, it might not have been Mark Spatz that did that, but he's been one of the only guys that have been doing YouTube videos with black box analysis for any serious amount of time. It was definitely not Joshua, so I have a feeling that it was Mark. But yeah, little known fact that I hadn't thought about that fact until a couple of seconds ago. It's one of the things I love about these live streams is, like, as I'm talking through shit, I'll remember stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool because it's hard to remember everything. It's nice to go on little journeys where you revisit those old pathways in your brain. You know what I mean? In the chat, Freelojo was first, Kiz Bartlett was next, Recyclops, Borked, I'm happy to announce that, thank God, YouTube has stopped giving you guys all randomly colored names. This is so much better now that mods are in blue and then everybody else is just in regular gray. Thank you, YouTube. Jesus, that was a stupid, weird, annoying thing that you did for a couple of weeks there. Marshmallow Hunters, Danzilla the Terrible, Bob Noxious, Recyclops, Danzilla the Terrible again, Dayron USA, Bitterroot. YouTube just did the thing. Hasn't stopped doing that. Someday, maybe they'll fix that. Kiz Bartlett, Bob Noxious, Bitterroot 661, Borks, Jason Black, Freelojo, Northern Tier, Manjaro, 8-Bit, McConnell Studios, Anonymous, CMYK, Tuner Taxi, June Loco, Alec Dvornik. What's up, friends? Again, I for anybody that's just joining, I am just completely exhausted from this vacation. So this is going to be a little bit of a struggle live stream, but we're going to get it done. It's a giveaway stream. You know, I already missed. I really wanted to try to get a Sunday stream in, but I was just completely annihilated last night. So yeah, I already missed 2. I didn't want to miss a 3rd, and it's a giveaway stream, so I really hate to miss those. So. In the chat, if you want to talk directly to me, all you gotta do is type CiottiFPV. When you do so, it'll light up in orange, like this. You don't have to put an @ in front of it, but you certainly can if you'd like. You can do this with each other. If you want to get somebody's attention in the chat, just type their name, spell it right, put the spaces in the right spot, and for them, it'll light up in orange. I also flew a... so here, this has been the best way. It's gonna be the best way for me to show you the place that we stayed in. I did one super quick Tinywhoop battery, and yeah, this is it. Hold on, let me just make sure that these files all copied over. They did indeed. And let's wipe them off this card. All right, cool. So this card is clean. Enter one, eject. So yeah, I flew the ghostly blue, the light blue ghostly. What is this? Which is the ghostly rig? I guess this is the ghost. This is we've got ebony and I brought ebony and ivory with me. And ebony is the rig that's on EX 0802 30,000s. Ivory over here is on the 0702 32,000s. And it was so windy that I just didn't fly much Tinywhoop. So I just flew this one battery, but I flew it around the house. The Airbnb, I should say, that we rented. And, well, I already had the memory card in there. Okay. Brain dead today, yo. Absolutely brain dead. Okay. So it will be the last file in here. Really cool little place. This rig continues to have this one motor drop out. But yeah, really, really cool little Airbnb. Super styly. Figured I'd fly into. Look at the wind. The wind was making it really, like, inside the car there was no wind. It was really hard to get stable with the wind to then come into the car. This is when we were getting ready to leave, actually. Yeah, little cool little spot. I can't believe how competent this little Tinywhoop is to fly in such a small. This is a really small place, but this little 0702 32,000 kV Tinywhoop just had no problems. Look at this little gap. Oh no, wait, is it up here? I can't believe I made it through this gap. I was sure that I was gonna miss this and have to do it again. Oh god. Yeah, really neat little place. The floor was kind of slanted. The floor was kind of slanted on this side of it. But weirdly, like, you kind of got used to that. And it was so stylish. It was such a cool looking little spot. Had a big, beautiful kitchen. I wish I hadn't bumped into that, but had a like big, beautiful kitchen. For somebody who likes to cook, this spot would have been amazing. That couch that I was sitting on there was like one of these IKEA couches that like may as well be made out of stone. It had a tin roof. I've never been in a house with a tin roof when a rainstorm came. That was kind of insane. See the angles in the house? Look at that. Look, all mid-century modish, like. Really, really cool. Beautiful spot. Little back porch there. It was awful cold, though. It was like 60 degrees the whole time we were there. So it was like, it wasn't really t-shirts. It was like pants and sweatshirts kind of weather. But it was still fun. I got to see my parents, which was amazing. And I got some flying in. Oh man, that looks really bad. That's breaking up like crazy. Yeah, I had a really good time. And we got to celebrate Maggie's birthday yesterday. That was great. I think this is about it. Yeah, at this point I was like, what else do I fly? I already flew the whole house. So I just brought it on in. But yeah, that's where we stayed. It was great. I had a really good time. I cannot believe how exhausted I am though. I'm like, I feel like I'm sick or something like that because I'm just so beaten. But I'll be all right. I'm sure by tomorrow night. I'm sure by Wednesday night stream I'll be fine. Maybe. I also came back the replacement control arm for the Subaru was here waiting for me, and I forgot that that the kids had today off. So I spent like 3 hours last night trying to, just cursing and screaming at the car. Subaru can go to hell. I hope that someone at Subaru gets beaten with hammers for designing the front suspension this way. I mean, just the dumbest design I've ever seen for a control arm. Like top to bottom, dumbest design I've ever seen in terms of like, oh, maybe someone will need to repair this sometime ever. But also from like a performance standpoint, like just the absolute worst possible way to set up the bushings for just horrible, horrible suspension design. And luckily Patrick is down to fight it with me, I think. I was like, yo, what are you doing this week? You want to come hang out? I have a complete nightmare waiting for you. You're cool with that, right? So we're going to try to do it tomorrow night. I got to be honest, though, I don't think we're going to be able to do it. I think I'm going to have to put the old control arm back on, limp it out of the garage, and just pay a tow truck to come and get it and tow it to a shop and have them do it. I don't know if it's going to be possible to do this without a lift, but we'll try. We'll try tomorrow night. We'll see. I don't know. Subaru can just die in a fire for doing stuff like this. I mean, and it's not just this. Like the fact that they build an engine that takes like 20 hours to change the spark plugs in. Like they like what world do you live in? But we won't talk cars. In the chat, Kiz Bartlett tagged me, said it's okay, we'll talk amongst ourselves while the teacher sets up class. Jason Black says, take your gangly ass time, you've been missed. Yeah, I couldn't, nothing worked, of course, on the live stream side of things, so I couldn't get the live stream up because, I don't know. When it comes to live streaming, like, you're not allowed to stop streaming. As soon as you stop streaming, everything breaks on your computer for absolutely no reason whatsoever. It's just, you know, why not? Why not? CMYK says, yo dude, Tuner Texas says, flying on the HD090 cam, you can see the props flex a lot if you have props in view. Kind of cool to see it happen. Yeah, the glide frames being True X, even though they have the camera and everything pushed significantly farther forward than most frames to clear the 20x20 flight controller, you do have props in view on glide frames. And I've always marveled at how much when you go full throttle, the props kind of move up in your view. It's wild how much propellers flex. They're designed to do that, though. I mean, like, you know, that's why it's one of the reasons that our propellers are so durable, is that they're willing to flex instead of just breaking. You know, back in the days of before the polycarb frames, it was, they made the propellers out of, I just said frames a second ago, I meant to say propellers. I forget. But yeah, glass nylon, thank you, Tuner Taxi. Back in the days of glass nylon propellers, and there are still some glass nylon propellers, glass nylon did not flex as much, and that made it much more brittle, and they broke a lot. And when they would break, they would just throw an entire blade would just go away. Nowadays, our propellers will typically bend rather than break, and then we can, you know, hopefully fly them home. And in a lot of cases, we can bend them back straight and keep going. So yeah, we've come a long way on propellers. CMYK says, check your Instagram feed, surprise waiting. On my feed, huh? What do we got here? Oh, very cool. God, I missed this completely. Thank God somebody's on top of things. So on Sticker Mule, they did this little sticker sheet, and I just completely missed it. But CMYK is just on top of the world, and he made this amazing little sticker sheet, which is super rad. Super, super, super rad. Next time they do a sticker sheet, I will, oh, look at that, testing complete. They put that text below one of the stickers. I think this is the first time that they did a sticker sheet like this. So yeah, this is rad. Dude, that's fucking wild. CMYK, you were the goddamn man. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Very, very, very cool. That's awesome. I'm gonna put that all over my Instagram feed as well. Is there a way to make this unread? I'll be fine. Holy shit. Oh my god. Raven187 says tacos. Kiz Bartlett says, I got my Gangly Gang sticker with a sent via the legend that is Denzilla the Terrible. Very cool. Thanks again for that, Denzilla. That's awesome. That I think Denzilla is up in Canada. So basically, I don't know what the deal is with cheeseburger, hot dog, U.S. Postal Service, but they just cannot figure out how to send things outside of hot dog land. I have a less than 50% success rate with shipping outside of the U.S. And it's always something different. Sometimes they don't come back at all. When they do come back, it's just gibberish, and it just makes no sense. So at this point, I just won't ship outside of, typically outside of the U.S., but Canada seems to be a lot better. So, yeah, Denzilla the Terrible said, hey, ship me some stuff here in Canada that you need to ship outside of the U.S. and I'll ship it for you. And he did, and it looks like it made it to Kiz, so that's super awesome. Thanks again for that, Denzilla. You're a fucking legend. Hey, also, speaking of legends, Apache Smoke Wounded Sniper and Quadbod have been just absolutely killing it doing timestamps on these live streams. It looks like the two of them have kind of gotten together, and it looks like what they're going to do is Apache Smoke is going to do the timestamps moving forward. Quadbot is actually going back in time and doing timestamps on a bunch of previous streams. So those two guys are amazing. It's not easy work to do that. Like you have to watch the whole stream, which watching me for 2 hours is brutal. So yeah, huge thanks to those two guys for doing that. There are four, I think what Quadbot is doing is he's just going chronologically backwards. So, yeah, there are four previous, older live streams, going back to the most recent time that I was sick, that now have, timestamps in them, and Quadbot says he's just going to keep going, which is just amazing. So yeah, thanks to those two guys, big time. If you watch these live streams on repeat, not live, if something funny happens, just hop down to the comments and just type the time code. The time code is always 2 digits, colon, 2 digits, colon, 2 digits. So the hour, the minutes, the seconds. And just put a little description and I will use it. Do that. You guys should do that on all the stuff that you watch, on YouTube, because it means a lot to the people that come out with those videos. And it also really makes you stand out in the comments. And you'll get people that click your comment and they're like, oh, what a cool dude. And then they go and they check out your channel and they subscribe. And it's just one of the things you can do to get more subscribers. It's, you're commenting something valuable rather than just commenting LOL. Whatever. It's the most valuable possible comment. If I'm looking through comments and there's a timestamp, I always click it, right? And you guys probably do too, because you're like, ooh, what did that person see that was kind of interesting? So yeah, it's the most valuable possible comment that you can leave. Commenting LOL is great, don't get me wrong, but yeah, a timestamp, you always a great comment to leave, so do it. Hey, I've got 0.99 millimeter drill bits. I've got 8 of them for sale. The only way to get them is to order some stickers. So for $10, you can get a drill bit and a Gangly Gang sticker. Come on, you shitter. A matte Gangly Gang sticker or a holographic Gangly Gang sticker. Or for $15, you can get a sticker pack as well as a drill bit. There are two sticker... Christ, a cracker. There's two sticker packs available. This is the matte pack. It's a matte Micro King sticker, a matte CiottiFPV logo sticker, and a matte Gangly Gang sticker. And then there's the holographic pack, which is a glossy Micro King window cling. This sticks to the inside or the outside of a clear window. A holographic CiottiFPV sticker, and a holographic Gangly Gang sticker, which you guys just saw. So yeah, $10 for one sticker and a drill bit, $15 for a sticker pack and a drill bit. Get them while they're hot. This 0.99 millimeter is perfect for newbie drone propellers, so that you can actually put them onto and off of a Tinywhoop motor without bending the blades all up and ruining them. And it's also perfect for HQ Tinywhoop propellers, so that you can open up the top of the propeller so that you can actually slide it down on the motor shaft, so that you don't bend the shit out of your motor shafts from the propeller sitting up too high on the motor shaft. Horrifying that HQ is still doing this, and that we have to hand drill the propellers out, but you know, whatever. Also really valuable for Gemfan 3 and 4 blade propellers. The Gemfan bi-blades are perfect. They go onto the shaft with the perfect amount of like force to hold on to it, and then they're not on there so tight that you ruin the shafts pulling them off. Some Gemfan 3 and 4 blade propellers are a little bit too tight, so, and you'll notice this when you're putting them onto the motor, and you'll have to like really grunt them on there. That's bad. Like if you ever have to push a propeller really hard onto a motor, it's not going to come off without bending the motor shaft. So don't do it. If you find yourself starting to push hard on a propeller, stop. Get one of these 0.99 drill bits, drill that propeller out a little bit, and then, like, yeah, you won't have to jam the propeller on there. You will literally ruin the motor. If you force a propeller on really hard, you have ruined that motor. It's going to be fine for right now, but if when you bend up that propeller, or you just want to try a different propeller, you are either going to bend the motor shaft getting it off, or you're going to spin the motor shaft on the bell trying to spin it off. Regardless, you're going to ruin that motor. Never, ever, 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 like, gorilla dick strength a Tinywhoop propeller onto a motor. You are ruining that motor in the process of doing that. Just stop. Like, if you're putting a propeller onto a Tinywhoop motor and you're starting to have to push hard, stop. Don't push it hard. It's gonna get stuck on there, and you're gonna ruin that motor. And motors are much more expensive than props. They're certainly more expensive than 0.99 millimeter drill bits that you can get from your gangly, half asleep friend there in Ciotti. Philly Style says, you ever think about watching subscribers' videos and commenting the flights like some other creators seems to be a hit? I mean, I've thought about it multiple times, but it's hard for me to talk about this without like sounding like an asshole and like trashing on those people, because I don't want to do that. Like, a lot of people do that, and it works really well for them, and that's great. I love that. I love that for those people, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. That's a really popular thing to do here on YouTube. But that's just not that's just not the idea behind like my live stream. Like, I want to give you guys Q&A. I want to talk technical stuff. Like, this live stream originally began from me just wanting to take all of the stuff that I had learned about micros and just dump it out into the world so that everybody else can take that and then build on it. And that has always been the case. Like, I've always wanted to put on a live stream that is trying to progress the hobby and is trying to get us to fly better, build better, tune better, in like a really collaborative kind of way. So that is the main reason that I don't really do that. The other big reason that I don't do that is that it's really sketchy from a copyright standpoint. People put edits up that have copyrighted music, and that opens you up to get shut down. Something that not many people know is that as a live streamer, like when you live stream on YouTube, like you are on like the sketchiest, thinnest ice. If someone brings up a manual copyright, if somebody manually reviews and clicks a button that's very easy to just click and without realizing what you're doing, they shut you down completely from live streaming. So me as a live streamer, if I put anybody else's content up on my live stream here, they receive a message, a notification, and there's something in their copyright section that says, would you like to file a copyright claim about this person? If they click yes, it's over for me. I immediately can no longer live stream until that copyright situation is like handled. That can take upwards of 3 months, or like forever. Like if they decide to get a lawyer and go after me, like that could be it forever. So like as a live streamer, it's just so sketchy to do that because like, and it's already happened to me once. So on the internet, here on YouTube, there is a really good video of a guy that created a machine that shows you with like a little thingy how a PID loop works. And just at some point, like a year and a half ago, I guess, on a random live stream, I was like, hey guys, look how cool this is. And I just pulled this video up and kind of talked over it, and we watched it together, and everybody loved it, and it was great. Well, that's what happened to that person. They got a notification that said, somebody's using your content. Do you want to file a thing against them? And this person didn't really understand what that meant, and they just clicked, sure, yeah, I'd like to do that. And then, so the next time I came onto YouTube, it's like, hey, you've got a copyright strike. You can't live stream. Period. You cannot live stream. And over the next, like, week, 2 weeks, I think it went into 3 weeks, I contacted this people. You guys bombarded this person. And he told me, he's like, I'm sorry. I didn't do this on purpose. Like, I don't want you using my content, but like, I didn't know that it would like shut your whole shit down. Like, YouTube didn't tell me that. They just, and then I investigated it, and like, sure as shit, like, yeah, it's just, it gives you a notification, and then there's just like the easiest thing to do is just to click the click. Yes, sure. And so, yeah, it's really, really, really sketchy to do that. And that's why you won't see Joshua doing it either. It also kind of like takes away from that. Like, one of the other reasons that Joshua doesn't do it that I recently realized is that it takes away from that person's views, right? Like 65 of you are in here. So if I play like one of your videos on the stream, like, you're probably not going to then go watch it again on that person's channel, right? So I potentially just took 65 live views away from that person. If this stream, a lot of my live streams will get replayed 500 to 1,000 times, that's potentially 1,000 less views on that person's video. Sure, most people wouldn't have known to go there anyway, but yeah, that was something that Joshua said recently. Like, he had a Wesley Vardy video on it. He's like, I'm only going to play like a second or two of this because I want you guys to go watch it on Wesley's channel. I don't want to steal, for him, it's much bigger numbers, right? He's got 500, 600 people on his live streams. and then they get replayed thousands and thousands and thousands of times. So yeah, that's kind of another reason that I don't do that. Again, like the people that do that, I have no ill will towards them. Please don't go and say like, you know, hey, Ciotti's talking shit on what you do or anything like that. I love that they do that. I enjoy watching it too every once in a while. It's just not my deal. It's just not what I want this live stream to be. And that's, you know, I'm allowed to have my own wants and needs. But yeah, I have nothing against those people. It's just there are a whole bunch of reasons that scare me to do it. Also, like, you know, I talk shit. Like I can get really loudmouth politically. So, like, if some really hardcore Trump supporter puts a video up and I play that video and if they wanted to, they could file a copyright strike against me and then I'm dead. Like, they can let that sit for up to 3 months. And if I was not able to live stream for 3 months, like, my career would be over in terms of this. So yeah, I just can't do it. I've chosen to have live streaming be my main form of getting content to you guys. And because of that, I just can't risk doing that. And it really freaks me out that I've done it in the past and that I have a whole bunch of shit out there and there's a whole bunch of opportunities for people to kind of do that to me. And that's like really, really, really scary. But all I can do is not do it moving forward and just kind of cross my fingers, right? So, yeah. I will say that it's really shitty that YouTube's policy is like that. I guess I understand it. I guess I understand that, you know, if they think that you're stealing other people's content, that they don't want you to live stream because they don't want you to be able to do that again. So I guess I understand it. But for those of us that have chosen to be live streamers here on YouTube, it's really bad. It's a really, really, really bad system. So yeah, I guess we can blame YouTube a little bit, but yeah, it's fine. I want yeah, it's fine. Chase says, what PID loop do you run the ELRS 1S board on? So the new Mobula 6 ELRS boards are coming with the PID loop set to 2K. I've been moving them up to 4K, and they've been fine. Between 4K and 8K PID loop, the black box geniuses, mainly UAV Tech and Chris Rosser, are the two that I really pay most attention to. They have both shown that there is an improvement in prop wash handling and just general flight performance when going from 4K to 8K PID loop. But it's not a huge difference. Between 2K and 4K, it's an even bigger difference. So I do definitely recommend going up to 4K on the PID loop from 2K and give it a shot. I've been totally fine with it. I'm assuming that Mobula, the happymodel rather, is bringing them down to 2K because ELRS is like pretty resource intensive when it's on SPI. So moving it up to 4K is like you're chasing the dragon a little bit, but you're chasing the dragon with something that does make a real improvement. So I think it's worth it. And I mean, it's a Tinywhoop, right? Like it's cheap, and you're typically not going to be flying it in an unrecoverable kind of situation. So, yeah, I recommend going up to 4K. It's been totally fine for me. If the rig starts freaking out and acting really weird, the CPU is overloaded. You can do stuff like trying to overclock it in the CLI, but I haven't had to do that, and I haven't really looked into that much. So look up some YouTube videos on overclocking and any. I mean, realistically, the risks are going to be more heat. So yeah, do it at your own risk. But yeah, I've been moving over to 4K. It's been totally fine. Knock on wood. Manjaro says, noob question, when I try to fly my whoop in angle mode, it seems to drift all over. I trim it in my controller, but it forgets the next flight. Is there something I should be doing? You need to calibrate the accelerometer, Manjaro Black. There is a... you can do it in Betaflight, but even better yet, go to Google and type in Betaflight stick commands. We are going old school. And then click images, and here you go. Here are a bunch of stick commands that you can do when you're disarmed that will do different things. The arm and don't use these arm and disarm stick commands. That's insane. But you can change between your different profiles. So, like, for example, if you want to go to PID profile 1, you're going to move the left stick down and left at the same time that you move the right stick to the left. See how that works? But this is what you want. Calibrate accelerometer. Left stick is going to go top left. Right stick is going to go down. That is going to instantly calibrate the accelerometer, so make sure that the rig is on a completely flat surface. And I mean, if you're going to use angle mode, you want to do this pretty often because the accelerometer is sort of a mess. Like that drifting that you're getting in angle and horizon mode, there is no fix for that. It's always going to be like that. The accelerometer just comes out of calibration like pretty frequently. If you're going to use horizon and angle mode, you might want to this only takes a split second to do, so you might want to get into the habit of doing this before every single battery. I mean, it literally, like, you plug the battery in, the rig is ready to take off right before you flip the arm switch. Just really quickly do this, and it'll just calibrate the accelerometer on whatever the flat surface that you're on is, and away you go. The gyro calibrating happens every single time you power the rig up, so there's really no reason to need to do this unless, like, if you have your minimum. Here's a super OG trick. If you have not changed your what the hell is it called? Your man, I am a fucking mess tonight. I have to look it up. in Betaflight. It's your flip over angle. I just do not remember what it's called. Maximum arming angle. If you have not changed your maximum arm angle to 180, which basically turns this off, what maximum arming angle means is that this is the maximum angle that the quad can be at in order for it to arm. So at 180 degrees, what that means is that your rig can be all the way upside down and it will still arm, which basically means that this is turned off. Putting this at 180 turns this off. And I recommend it for people that have been flying for a while. For noobs, this is a nice safety feature. So like the default number here, I think, is 20. So what it means when it's set to 20 is that when the rig is completely flat, it will arm. But if the rig is at 20 degrees or more, it will not arm. So for example, if you're walking around with the rig and you're holding it sideways like this and you accidentally flip the arm switch, if this is set to 20, it's beyond 20 degrees, so it will not arm and chop you to pieces. So it is admittedly a really nice safety feature. But what can happen with this is if you get hung up in a tree and it's hanging vertically like this, and you try to arm it to move it around in the tree, it's not going to arm. Typically, you're not going to arm it when it's in a tree. Typically, you're going to use turtle mode, and this has nothing to do with that. But sometimes it is nice to arm it when it's hung up somewhere. Very rarely, but every once in a while, it is nice to have this arm angle set to 180. But if you want to be safer, you can leave that arming angle at a low value, and then if you get into a situation where it's not arming and you need it to, what you can actually do is calibrate the gyro with this stick command. So you can literally just go on your phone, type in Betaflight stick commands to Google on your phone, and pull this up. I've had to do this multiple times. And look up this calibrate gyro command, and then you can just do this stick command, and the rig will be sitting in a tree, usually like this, and then it'll calibrate the gyro, and it'll think that this is flat ground. And then you will be able to then arm it and hopefully get it out of the tree. Like I said, super, super, super rare that you'll ever need to do that. But it's there for you if you need it. If you haven't changed your maximum arming angle, but most of you have been in the game for a while and you've changed your maximum arming angle to 180. And yeah, there's a bunch of other shit that you can. I don't know what in-flight calibration controls are. You can manually trim the accelerometer a little bit. I mean, disable LCD page cycling. I have no idea what that is. Save setting. I don't know why you would. Oh, I guess if you've been sitting here trimming the accelerometer, you would then want to save it. So that's interesting. Sticks into the corners, into the bottom corners. So yeah, there you guys go. That's some old school stuff right there. Great question, man, Jaro Black. That's very common, dude. It's one of the reasons that's really annoying. It's one of the things that's really annoying about angle and horizon mode. In my opinion, try to get off of them. I know it's hard, but yeah, try to get off of angle and horizon mode and just do everything in acro. You're gonna be able to like practice your acro flying with everything, including your tinywhoops. I know it's difficult, but it's worth it. I promise. Tuners, we got that. Glass Nylon. Thank you, fellas. Denzel the Turbo says, anytime you need anything shipped on, let me know. I will. Thank you, brother. Marcelo Faxis says, Legends should be mods. How the hell are they not mods? Where are they? Where's Apache Smoke? You guys not in here? Next time they come in here, I'm gonna make them mods. It's ridiculous that they're not. Okay. Where the hell is it? There we go. Jason says, did you get the BI cam soldered up with the correct plug? Could you show me the wire order by chance? Absolutely, Jason. I did. Denzel, you are now a mod. Congratulations. All you gotta do is be a legend, and then you'll be a mod. I did. It's the I was soldering it up. That's not a BI cam. I don't have one outside of. So the problem was the plug. The problem was not soldering up to the cam itself. I was using a plug that was incorrectly that had the wires in the incorrect spots because it was just a random plug that I had floating around. So in terms of the plugs, that plug into the Mobula AIO, this is the color orientation: black, then red, then yellow. All right, so on this side of the plug that doesn't have the little latches, it's... Jesus, man, come on. There you go. This side of the plug that does not have the latches, it is black, then red, then yellow. And then here's the other side of the plug that does have the little latches. You can do it, Logitech. Come on. We've done this 1,000 times. There you go. On this side of the plug with the latches, that's the correct orientation. And then on the BI cameras themselves, we can just kind of, I don't, do I have any floating around? We can just look on, well, I mean, you will have just pulled the, you'll have just pulled the plug off, so you should know, but we should be able to see it on their website, I would think. What's happening? Really? Is there not a space in between it? Wow, do they not sell it anymore? No, they do. They do. So there you go. Wow, that's a terrible picture. There you go. Oh, yeah, on the BI cameras, they actually have it silk screened. They have it silk screened. They have silk screened 5-volt ground and then just something else. So yeah, and there are multiple versions of the BI camera. Some of them it's on the right side, some of them it's on the left side, so definitely just look for the silk screening. But yeah, it should be 5 volts in the corner, ground in the middle, and then video on the inside. Let me... Where do I have... I do have a BI camera floating around. Where the hell is it? Here it is. Here's one of them. Let me take a quick look at this one, just to make sure that it's not any different. So some BI cameras have the plugs on the left side. Some of them have the plugs on the right side. This one looks like it's a right side plug. If you have a BI camera that's a left side plug, it's the same orientation, but the ports are closer to the center line here. So this is one of the left side, but see, you can see the silk screening. There's the silk screening, 5-volt and then ground, and then yeah, videos on top. So yeah, just look for the silk screening, and then the plug. Yeah, you got to make sure the plug is right. So there's the plug. There's the non-latch side. And there's the latch side. Cool. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that all the BI cameras have the silk screening there. There you go. You can really see it. But if there is no silk screening, see, these are kind of in the middle of the board, but they're not quite. They're shifted downwards on the board, and it looks like Newbie Drone always does 5-volt towards the corner, and then ground in the middle, and then video towards the middle. The middle of the PCB, I should say. Hopefully that answers your question. That's a really good question. I got some fucking builds that need to get done. Oh, I always have a ton of builds that need to get done. If that doesn't answer your question, Jason, ask it a different way, and we can keep figuring it out. Kids Bro, it says, while we're on the subject of Legends, Brains Baked Beans, I have an issue, had an issue where my Mobula 7 would float down at 0 throttle rather than fall. He sent me over his tune and fixed it a treat. Yeah, Brains Baked Beans is the goddamn man. He's always hanging out over on Discord, incredible tuner, and just a general good human being. So yeah, show that man some love for sure. Brandon Woodford says, super stoked you got the drill bids and they... Got the drill bits and they work for you. Cement Kid says, the most important thing I always thought to pay attention to is the CPU load. CiottiFPV, is that not true? It's very true, Cement. But they have changed the calculation of the CPU load. And so now it's kind of the Wild West. If the CPU load is in like the 90s and 100s, it's going to be a problem. It probably won't be, though. It'll probably be in like the 50s and the 60s, maybe even into the 70s, and it seems to be okay. But it's hard, man. Everything okay? something fell down, I guess. Yeah, it's I've yet to see like, hey, if the new calculations of the CPU load goes over 82%, you're screwed. It's tough because like when the quad is just sitting here, the PID loop is not working as hard, and yeah, once you're up in the air, different things change. So it's interesting, but yeah. Riot9 with a $1.49 super chat. Thank you, brother. An Australian hamburger. Thank you, dude. Kevin Sumner says, "What's up, gang? CiottiFPV, how you living?" I'm exhausted, Kevin. I'm absolutely shot from this vacation. But I'll get some more sleep tonight. Hopefully, I'm better by Wednesday night. Hey, Whoop Wednesday is going to be the auction for the. I know I said I was going to do it tonight. I apologize. I just don't have it in me. Yeah, Wednesday night, Whoop Wednesday is going to be the auction for the ultimate freestyle Tinywhoop. So if you want a chance to win it, or buy it, I guess. Yeah, Wednesday night, 6 to 8 is going to be the thing. I think we'll do the auction from 7 until 7:30. That's usually like we'll do like right in the middle. That makes the most sense, I think. Give people a chance to come by. And yeah, it was fun doing the newbie drone rig. That should be at its new forever home by now, so that's pretty cool. Denzel the Turbo says, "Say happy birthday, Maggie, for us." I will. June Logo says, "Have you seen the new Whoop prop remover? Pretty genius." This is a box from tinywhoop.com. This is the new Tinywhoop prop remover that I think sold out immediately. As well it should. The Weha chip lifter has been a great interim solution to pulling Tinywhoop props. And there are probably still situations where it might be your go-to, but it's going to be pretty rare. This is the new Tinywhoop Whoop prop puller thingy, and this is the perfect way to remove a Whoop propeller without ruining the motor. The only situation where this might not work is when and this is where the Weha chip lifter might be better. But the little fork part of this, it goes from really thin and then it gets thicker. If you have a propeller that's really stuck on the motor shaft, it might be difficult with how quickly this thing increases in thickness. It might be really difficult to get this under the propeller enough to then have this pin get centered on the middle. This is really hard to kind of describe and explain. The Weha chip lifter, if you see here, it stays skinnier for longer. It doesn't come to as fine of a point, which kind of sucks, but it stays skinnier for longer. So there are situations, specifically when there's like a prop that's really pushed all the way down on the shaft of the motor, and it's super stuck on there. That might be a case where this guy you might not be able to get it under there without bending the motor shaft. That is just a guess from having that happen to me a bunch of times in the past. Other than those fringe cases, this is the perfect solution because this only pulls directly up on the propeller. That Weha chip lifter, it pushes the propeller up and it does put a little bit of side load on the motor shaft. This thing will not do that at all. This uses this center pin to push down on the motor shaft, directly down on the motor shaft, while this hook on the bottom is pulling up on the propeller. So this is the perfect way to push a propeller off. And if you've got, and the other perfect way to pull a propeller off for the 1.6 inch propellers is the GemFan, prop locket. This is how you pull a 1.6 millimeter propeller that has the extra two, that has the T-mount screw holes on it. And it functions the same way. It uses a center shaft to push down on the motor shaft while pulling straight up on the propeller. So yeah, between these two tools, you're going to be able to pull pretty much every Tinywhoop propeller off safely. The GemFan tool, again, is called the Prop Locket, and that is for 1.6 inch propellers that have the three holes in top. One hole for the motor shaft, two holes for the T-mount screws. I also got some three replacement Mobula 7 V4 frames in the smoke crotch gray color that you guys say is more durable, which is awesome. So I can get the GemFan bashing Mobula 7 with the iGao motors back on its feet. That's exciting. We'll probably do that Wednesday. We'll get that thing repaired. And then I got a couple extras because, yeah, I mean, I managed to kill that after just two hard jungle gym sessions. So it held up pretty good. I'm going to experiment with some different ways to mount the canopy, different screws to see if I can not break these frames. I mean, to be honest, if I have to replace these frames every 2 super hard jungle gym sessions, that's kind of fine. I mean, it's a little bit annoying, but not the end of the world. So, yeah, we'll figure that out more as we move forward. We'll figure out there's a chance that a different canopy will do better. There's a chance that longer screws will help. I could even technically play around with reinforcing the part that broke with E6000. We'll figure it out as we always do. So yeah, I got a couple of those. Oddly enough, tinywhoop.com is the only place to get those Mobula 4 ELRS frames in that gray at the moment. That's stateside. I got a hand-dyed, that's what this sticker here says, tinywhoop.com, Loveland, Colorado, hand-dyed. Hand-dyed sky blue Meteor 65 frame for, I want to do a 32,000 kV ultimate freestyle Tinywhoop auction build. So after our auction this Wednesday, at some point I'm going to do another build, and I'm going to use this frame and a set of the light blue 32,000 kV motors, and yeah, they match up pretty good. That looks pretty cool. This is the lightest blue hand-dyed frame that Jesse's got, and it's a pretty good match with those motors, so that'll be pretty cool looking. Excited for that. What else? Jesse always sends some candy. This is one of those old school atomic fireball things that I won't touch with a 10-foot pole. I'm going to give this away in one of the giveaways tonight. And then, look at this. I've been meaning to get one of these. I have this in black. Now I have it in white as well. I can get it all sweaty and disgusting in the summertime and ruin it. So yeah. A fun shirt. How can you not have a Tinywhoop shirt, yo? Get you a Tinywhoop shirt, and I think that's it. Couple extra stickers that Jesse threw in here, as he always does. Oh God, I didn't mean to throw it directly at the I don't know. I don't know things. Bar cart, that's it. That's what it's called. Jason Hollyfield. I don't know what your YouTube name is, but he's getting in on the... oh, are these more resin printed? These are more resin printed. So I can actually look him up on... Oh, God, I forget where Jason messaged me. It might have been on Discord. To see what his... At least what his Discord name is. Yeah, he's getting in on the McStinky 3D printing competition with some resin printed mounts. These are a little bit softer than the other ones that I got. Ooh, that's cool. That's very cool. Yeah, ooh, that's nice and soft. Okay. Very, very cool. Thank you so much, Jason, for getting in on the madness. Many of these McStinky mounts will be available for purchase. And he also sent a couple of these bikini-style mounts, which is pretty slick. Although it looks like one of them broke in shipping. That's kind of crazy. How the hell... Oh, no, I think he said... I think he might have told me in Discord that he's including a couple of broken mounts that broke during the printing process that I can just do whatever I want with or throw them away. I think I remember him saying that. But yeah, man, this resin printing is something else. This is actually really cool. I remember him saying this, yeah. This is cool because we can like play around with this and like bend it until it breaks to really see. Look at that. What an interesting characteristic of this material that he resin printed in. It's really, really, really malleable. And it kind of holds its shape, but it also kind of bends back. Super interesting stuff. I don't know what the resin printing... I don't think it's called like TPU. I think it's something different. But the other person that sent me some resin printed stuff, it's over here in the big bag. I don't think I remember it being quite this malleable. So I guess there's a couple different materials. Oh, it's the blender. It was a strange sound. I guess there's a couple different materials that you can resin print in, which is awesome. So yeah, dude, Jason, thank you for this. This is slick. Into the 3D printing competition bag this shall go. And I don't think that I showed you guys this one. Make sure I'm not showing anybody's address. I think this came after the stream. This is from... this is from Chris Dion. I think in the most recent stream, Chris was like, hey, did you get it yet? And I was like, no. And I think it was just sitting in the mailbox. Yeah, Chris Dion also getting in on the 3D printing competition here with some regular McStinkies. Look how many he made. A bunch of these. Thank you guys for making a whole bunch. This is great. Like, whenever people order stickers or sticker packs or whatever, they can... And I'll probably throw these up on the Etsy store, too, so you guys can order from Etsy if you don't have a 3D printer and you want some of these McStinky mounts. Yeah, bunch of regular McStinkies in violet and red, a bunch of nano McStinkies, and a bunch of big stinkies. So yeah, Chris Dion, thank you for this. You are in the contest as well. Making a little stash of these. All right. And nope, that's something that I need to return to Amazon because I ordered the wrong thing. And I think we're caught up on the mailbag of mailbags. Let me get caught up on chat and then probably be ready for I don't know, words go here. Just imagine I said something that makes sense there. Kevin Sumner says, what's up, gang? How you living? Cold Frontin' Penguin said... No, we got that? Oh, wait, no, we didn't. No, we didn't. Cold Frontin' Penguin says, why does my quad flip out and not settle down when doing a punch forward movement after a few seconds after releasing throttle? What? Flip out and not settle down when doing a punch forward movement after a few seconds after releasing throttle. punch forward movement. So I'm going to make an assumption that a punch forward movement means you pitch forward and you punch the throttle. But I got to go back in time because it's freaking out when you do this. After a few seconds after releasing the throttle. So is it sitting on the ground? So there's two options here. It's either sitting on the ground and you're releasing the throttle. I think that means zeroing the throttle. So it's sitting on the ground, zeroing the throttle, a couple of seconds go by, and then you do a punch forward movement. Or the other option is it's falling, you go zero throttle when it's falling, it falls for a few seconds, and then you pitch it forward and you punch it forward. There is nothing about either of those situations that would make it freak out more than just any time you ever... That's super weird. If I'm decrypting the DaVinci Code here properly, there's nothing about either one of those flight situations that I can think of that would make pitching forward and jamming on the throttle and it freaking out. Like it should freak out every time you pitch forward and jam on the throttle. There's nothing about it falling zero throttle and then you doing it, or it's sitting on the ground and then you doing it. There's nothing about those two situations that would really matter. If it's falling, if what you mean by flip out is that it's falling and then you jam the throttle and it like wobbles and then starts moving forward, that's just prop wash. And in order to fix that, you're going to have to increase your D gain or go with more powerful motors or lighter weight propellers or remove filtering. Mainly adding D gain is going to be the best way to fix that. So if that's what you're talking about, if it's falling and you hammer the throttle and it wobbles and then starts to move, or if you're moving backwards and you hammer the throttle and it wobbles and then starts to move, yeah, that's just prop wash. That's just, you're in dirty air and it's just an issue. It's just, yeah, we all deal with that. The best thing you can do about that is learn to fly around it, because that is an aerodynamic situation that even with bigger motors, lighter props, more D gain, less filtering, it's still like just a problem. You're putting the quad into a bad aerodynamic situation, and you can put band-aids on it with all these other things, but learning to not put the quad into that poor aerodynamic situation is the best solution. Because even with more powerful motors, lighter props, more D gain, less filtering, the quad is going to have to use battery energy to fight that bad aerodynamic situation. So you're going to get less runtime by not getting better as a pilot and learning how to avoid those situations. So what I usually recommend is to not change the tune, not change anything, and let the current, if this is the situation, of course, right? Let the current tune show you when you're putting the rig into dirty air, and you learn to fly around it. And then someday when your footage is being sold or you're a big time YouTuber, and it matters that your flight footage looks locked in, then you crank up your tune. But if you're just flying for you, if that's the situation, that's a really good indicator of, hey, that's prop wash. I want to do what I can to fly around that. So yeah, that's kind of my recommendation. Or I could be totally off base. I could have read your message wrong, and that might not be the situation. If I'm completely off base, Penguin, just explain it in a different way. Explain it like you would explain it to an 8-year-old, and then I might be able to figure it out. Denzel the Terrible says, is it possible to set up accelerometer calibration on ARM so you don't have to remember to do it, or even just a switch? I'll never remember stick inputs. Probably. That'd be a great question for when Joshua gets back. I'm sure he would love to dive into an OpenTX switch flip to kind of do that. I don't know OpenTX worth a good goddamn, so I wouldn't even remotely try to figure that out. But I'm almost certain that there's a way to set that up. Manjaro Black says, once I get my goggles on, I'll be in acro. Very cool. Yeah, flying acro line of sight is tough. It's not undoable. It's totally doable, I should say. All the crazy line of sight pilots do it, but it is a lot more difficult. June Logo says, have you... Oh, no, we got that. Denzel the Terrible says, did I hear you once say that someone was resurrecting the Ripsqueak? No, not that I know of. Not that I know of. Well, maybe? I can't think of it. This is a bad night for me to try to think of that, though. Ask me on Whoop Wednesday, and my brain will hopefully be working a little bit better than tonight. CV says, pretty sure you said the auction is on Whoop Wednesday. It's on my calendar. Awesome. Love it when I don't lie. Chase says, would you ever be interested in flying indoors 65 or 75 millimeter rig on carbon frame? So I've already tried it, and I'm going to try it again, actually, because the T-motor AIO does not really fit worth a damn in any of the in either the Mobula 65 either the Meteor 65 or the Cockroach frame. So I'm gonna put it into the I'm gonna reuse my fractal frame. I'm gonna reuse the fractal frame. I've already done it though. There's a couple live streams. Search my channel for HD0, and there's a couple of live streams where I put the Mobula 65 HD0 into that frame. There was nothing bad about it. It was a pretty challenging build. There was nothing bad about it, but there was also really nothing good about it. Like there was really nothing that there were really no problems that the carbon fiber frame solved, and there were some things that I didn't like about it. So I'm doing it again because the T-motor AIO is not going to fit in anything else. So it's kind of out of necessity, but admittedly, I would like to spend some more time with it. I only did a few batteries on it. Maybe there's something hidden that on the 30th battery I'll figure out. I doubt it. The problem is the Meteor 65 frames are so good. And so like the one big thing that a carbon fiber Tinywhoop is going to do better is it's going to allow you to drop to filter less to get better prop wash performance. The problem here is that the Meteor 65 frame is already plenty good, and you can already remove most of the filtering, mainly because with Tinywhoops, all of the vibrations happen really high up. For you guys, it would be really high up in the black box logs, and the really high up frequencies, they get filtered really hard regardless. And when we have to add filtering up there, it doesn't use much. It doesn't add much latency. So a carbon fiber Tinywhoop frame kind of solves a problem that doesn't exist. There is this argument that it's more durable, but that's the other thing, is that the Meteor 65 frames are bulletproof. So again, like, it's solving a problem that really doesn't exist. And in my experience with the Cockroach 75 frames, having a carbon fiber, so that the Tinywhoop motors have very small motor shafts on them where the prop goes on. And those motor shafts are the most common point of failure from bending. Well, one of the great things about the plastic frames, the Cockroach and the Meteor 65 frame, is that your stator base is mounted on plastic. So when the motor gets hit, and when the motor shaft would normally bend, when it's mounted on a nice malleable plastic frame, the whole motor will move. So it makes the one main point of fail a lot less, because the motor is able to move around a little bit. Whereas on a carbon fiber frame, that stator is like held in place on carbon fiber. It's not going to move. So the motor shaft ends up having to bear the brunt of the collisions. And I've gotten a lot of motor shaft failures on those Cockroach 75 frames. That being said, a 65 millimeter Tinywhoop is a lot lighter, so maybe that won't be as much of an issue. But again, it's solving a problem that doesn't exist. The Meteor 65 frames are unbelievably durable. So yeah. The other thing is that it's a Squished X frame, and Squished X takes away leverage, mechanical torque from the pitch axis, and the pitch axis is where the battery runs. So on the pitch axis, we actually want more mechanical torque advantage to deal with the extra weight of the battery. So the fact that it's a Squished X frame mechanically is not great. The regular frames are True X, and True X is always going to outperform Squished X. I do love that there's no prop or duct in view. That is awesome. But the way that they hold the camera with TPU, like there's nothing to prevent the camera from. I mean, the camera is just not as solidly mounted, and the props in view is like kind of whatever. You're flying a Tinywhoop anyway. Like, who cares, right? Like, you're not getting cinematic footage from a Tinywhoop. That was one of the reasons why I was excited to do it with HD0. That fractal frame was earmarked for HD0 because I thought, well, hey, HD0 is high definition. Maybe that footage will be a little bit more usable. But after I got that footage into Premiere and tried to make it look better, it just doesn't. It like the HD0 footage, it really is only like 5% better maybe than analog footage. That's being a little cruel, but it's really not, the footage is not good enough to really do anything with, unfortunately. So yeah, that kind of went out the window. That again, that advantage of it not having props in view, it's no longer an advantage, because that would only be an advantage if we could put an HD camera system on them that actually produced good footage. When we talk about Walksnail, now we're getting there. Now we're working with something that maybe could be useful, but I don't have that, and it's to dive down that is $600, $700, $800, right? Set of goggles, couple of VTXs, couple of cameras, and yeah, I don't have that kind of money. So. And you could also argue that is going to really wreck the flight performance. Like, if you were going to go down that road, you can't do a 65 millimeter rig because you're talking about an extra 8 to 10 grams, and that's just way too much for a 65. So now you're forcing yourself into a 75 millimeter build, which is fine. I actually bought a fractal 75 frame in case I ever wanted to go down that road. And yeah, maybe someday we will, but that's awful expensive. That being said, the Walksnail system is really intriguing in terms of like 3-inch freestyle rigs. But so is the O3. The O3 system, man, it's really tough. Like the Walksnail system is amazing because you have access to the 8 to 10 gram lightweight setup. The O3 system will never touch that. Never, never, never. The O3 system will always be a 15 plus gram weight penalty, which even for a 75 millimeter Tinywhoop is really pushing it. Like that, I don't see it. I think that puts you up into 2-inch territory. So the Walksnail system is very interesting because it's got onboard DVR. The quality is pretty damn good. And you've got this 8, 9, 10 gram setup. But Jesus, how many fucking pairs of goggles are we gonna have? Like, can't go away from analog because 65 millimeter whoops inside the house are just absolute magic. So you have to have your analog goggles. I have to have DJI goggles for these live flying gigs. HD0 is super interesting for people that are racing. Not for me, though. I'm not going down the HD0 goggle route. Just because I can't find a single situation that HD0 makes any sense for me. Because I'm not a racer. For racers, I totally get it, but that's kind of it. It doesn't make any sense for freestyle. I don't think, unless you're willing to drag around the 5,000 gram 1 watt VTX. Yeah, it's a bit much, man. It's a bit much. Kevin Sumner said, I just ate 2 of those fireballs from Jesse this past weekend. It took me back. Are they like properly hot? Kevin, I've just always stayed away from them. Are they like properly hot? I think they are, right? I remember when I was a kid, I remember being like, nope, don't give me that. Mr. Blue Sky says, hey, CiottiFPV Collective, what's up, dude? Kiz Bartlett says, why is it called the McStinky? T-Dog named it that. I have no idea why. It's T-Dog's Whoop camera mount. John Goblin says, redid my Patreon for the giveaway. Just wanted to make sure it went through. Take a look. I haven't looked at my email. Oh my God, I haven't looked at my email in fucking days. That was a mistake. John Godwin getting in on all the giveaways tonight. Very cool, brother. Yeah, it went through. Thank you, dude. Thank you for your support. Very, very cool of you. Let me make sure I'm not behind on any of your guys' emails. I gotta do that. I'm not gonna do that live. That's ridiculous. Let's do the giveaways. I'm gonna do the giveaways, and then what did I name this? Vacation recap. We already kind of did that. Q&A, 4 giveaways. All right, we're gonna do the giveaways, and then and then we'll talk for a couple minutes more, and then I'm gonna just chop this a little bit before 12. Yeah, I'm just completely spent. Frank Nicholas says Walksnail onboard DVR is 1080p. Air unit onboard DVR is 4K, and I clearly understand the weight difference. Wait for the Naked 03. Mads Tech has a phenomenal video on the 03 stuff, and in that video he talks about Naked 03s, and what he basically says is that he really doubts that they're gonna. He basically says in there that there's no way they're going to be able to make a lightweight 03 air unit. And he basically says that, like, it's, you know, the case and whatnot are really not all that heavy. So, like, a Naked 03 it's just going to be a couple of grams lighter because we're just going to be taking the outside part. And he also talks about how, like, it runs hotter, so like as a naked setup, like it's going to be even more sketchy than the current decased DJ, right? Well, yeah, I guess that means naked, but so yeah, I'm not holding out any hope for like a proper like lightweight 03 air unit. And the naked SketchUps, the naked setups, they scare the hell out of me. It's those VTXs are really expensive, and then to take a lot of the heat shedding capabilities away from them and have them, not have like a protective case and stuff. I'm like, ooh man, like that's. Eesh. So, yeah, I don't know. And basically what he said is it's always going to be heavier, whatever. It's never going to be properly lightweight. And in the same way that the current DJI stuff is, right? Like the current DJI, naked DJI stuff is significantly heavier than the Walksnail, right? I should have one floating around that McConnell Studios very kindly sent me. Yeah, let's take a quick look. I think it's like 15 to 20 grams, right? Let's see. Oh, this is kind of a heavy this is not a fair comparison. Yeah, I don't know. It's certainly somebody in chat knows. What's the lightest weight naked DJI setup? Anybody know? We can look it up. GetFPV sells them. Naked. Here we go. Let's see here. Yeah, so this is the lightest weight setup. Wow, heat sink casing removal eliminates 10 grams. I didn't think it was 10 grams. That's a lot. Okay. I was wrong about that. But it's still heavy. This is still kind of a heavy setup compared to Walksnail. Yeah, there we go. Vista kit, camera included, 22 grams. And then the antenna is another 1.5. Yeah, so like 8 to 10 grams versus 22 grams, like that's nuts. That's a huge increase in weight. And yeah, that really, like, a 75 millimeter, well, so here it is, right? So that's the weight of an Insta360 Go 2, pretty much. And when you put the Insta360 Go 2 onto one of these tiny lifters, they fly like a bag of smashed assholes. Part of the problem is that you're putting it up high. So yes, having the weight a little bit more centralized would help the situation quite a bit. But it pretty much eliminates the possibility of 1S. So then you've got to build it on 2S. And now you're going to have to add, you're going to have to either do this exact same build, which I don't know how you would do because you've got to put those two boards up here. It's just, it just becomes really difficult. And in my opinion, it eliminates the possibility of doing it for freestyle in a 75 millimeter build. Now you're up to 2 inches, and now the frame gets heavier, the motors get heavier, the props are heavier. So it's just, yeah, it's not it's not really a Tinywhoop setup. Although what I will say is that with how good the video quality is from that, yeah, you could replace. So yeah, where that becomes really interesting is that you can replace the Insta360 Go 2. And you'll get roughly the same image quality. But a much better, you'll get an HD goggle feed. Somebody just had somebody needs to come up with a frame that would do it. So that's, yeah, that's super interesting. It's gonna fly like a Cinewhoop though. It's not gonna be freestyle, unless you go to a 2-inch build, as evidenced by the way that these tiny lifters fly. Like they you know, the name tiny lifter, like they fly like a little lifter. So yeah, very interesting. an O3 air unit on a 75 millimeter 2S Tinywhoop, that would be quite a thing. And I know somebody has already done it. The way that it's mounted is kind of ugly. I mean, who cares, right? But what I will say is that it pushes the camera really far forward, and that's going to really overwork the front motors. So I wouldn't want to do it that way. Man, it is tough to package all that, though. Like, on one hand, it would be nice to drop the O3 air unit down below the AIO. But then where the hell are you going to put the battery? And then you got to put the battery down below that. And then you can put the camera up top nice and low and slide it forward maybe a little bit. So yeah, I mean, somebody just needs to like figure that out. So there just needs to be a frame or a build or whatever that comes out that kind of does that, because the current setup is basically AIO and then the air unit brick right here and then the camera up front. And with these tiny little rigs, you just can't do that. It just puts too much. It just makes the front motors do too much work. So yeah, we'll probably see that though. I mean, I'm sure that the manufacturers are all over that. So we'll start to see 2-inch and 75mm O3 air unit carrying setups soon enough, and that'll be pretty amazing. Because man, that's kind of the dream. And then if you want to do that for freestyle, you are going to have to go up to 2-inch realistically. But why not? Kevin Sumner says fireballs are cinnamon hot, not spicy pepper hot. That's right. Yep. Kevin Sumner dropping a link to GitLab. Oh, look at this. This is cool. Video system comparison. Wow. Well done. Very well done. Damn, dude. Very cool. The link to this is in the chat. Click it. This is pretty rad. Highest tested range, reaction to interference. Damn. Well done. Can't analog, is this the minimum latency that analog can do? Glass to glass, 19? I thought it was lower than that. HD0 is down at 15. Can't analog go faster than HD0? I haven't been paying a lot of attention. Maybe not because of the 30 frames per second. Interesting. Kevin Sumner says, yep, that's full frame as tested by Rosser. Any idea what camera he tested, Kevin? Because I know some cameras will have higher and lower latency on analog. Interesting. If HD0 can do lower latency than analog, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Damn, dude. Very cool. How many times can I say cool? Bugs FPV says, what about 1.6-inch hex instead of quad with O3? Hex is like interesting and different and fun, but it introduces a lot of problems. Namely, there's only like one ESC that you can get. It doesn't fly as good. Like quads fly better than hex. So like going up to instead of doing 6 smaller propellers, going up to 4 bigger propellers is always going to outperform it. So hex doesn't really fix any problems, and it's also no smaller, right? Because you have to spread the arms out for the extra propellers. So yeah, hex is interesting, but it's total like novelty. Totally cool, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing that's better about it than quads. John Goblin says, I just weighed a Naked Vista and Nebula Pro Nano. It comes out to 13 grams. Why the hell? Why does GetFPV have 20 grams? Naked Vista, Nebula Pro Nano was the cable? The cable can't be that heavy. Naked Vista, Nebula Pro. That's weird. I wonder why they have such a heavy weight. 13 grams. That's pretty good. O3 system is going to be a little bit heavier than that because of there's something extra that's up on top of it. Is it a US memory card slot? And it's going to be dragging around a memory card. So yeah, most of what I just said is still on the money. Just a little bit less. A little bit less. The big problem with the O3, with the DJI systems when they're naked, is that it's a double stack. And that's just a packaging nightmare in these little bastards. The big advantage of the Walksnail setup is the fact that there's this single board and it's a little bit lighter. And that little bit of extra lightness does make a difference. But man, if we're talking about 8 grams versus 12 grams and 1080 versus 4, I mean, we'll see. We'll see when the when the naked O3 units come out. That's interesting. I hate the idea of like getting Walksnail and then also getting O3. You know, like it's just too much, man. It's just too much. Too much. Bugs. Oh, and we got that. Kevin Sumner says, I linked that because I have the lowest weight for each system on there. Oh. I didn't even think to look at weight. Weight of lightest on-craft setup. Analog 3. Wow. Analog 3.6. Jesus. Analog 3.6. DJI O2 12.7, DJI 03 at the moment, I'm assuming because there's not a naked setup, 36.4, HD0 6.0, Walksnail Avatar 19.5. Really? What about isn't there I thought there was an 8 to 10 gram Walksnail setup. The 1S thing. Is it 19 and a half? Is it really? No. No. Really? Hold on. I don't know why I'm going to bother doing this, though. GetFPV's weight was just completely wrong on the other one. Walk Snail 1S. Let's see what that pulls up. Okay, Kevin Sumner says that might need updates for 1S boards. All right, cool. Improved 5.1 gram Avatar Mini Light. Overall weight is 10 grams. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, so... no, this improved version of the Mini VTX is smaller, but still includes the heatsink. This kit includes the original nano camera, not the light camera. The overall weight is 10 grams. Okay, yeah, so... we were still on the money here. Yeah, this is really interesting, man. This Walksnail setup is super interesting. The onboard DVR is fantastic. Single board, really lightweight. But Jesus, the O3 system, it almost looks as good as a Session 5, and like this looks good, but not that good. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is so much easier to package in the builds, though. Yeah, I don't know. It's a really interesting comparison. Bugs FPV says Octo, the stacked quads, IDK. What's that mean? I don't know what that means. All right, let's do some giveaways, yo. It's 10:55. This is normally when we do them. That's kind of nice. First up, well, hold on. I gotta do the behind the scenes things. So, hey, by the way, this is my full-time job. If you want me to keep doing it, head on over to CiottiFPV.com and support your boy. Patreon helps me out the most. I've got an Etsy store with a bunch of really cool stuff. Stickers and hardware that you might need for your next builds. Hard to find hardware too. And there's a bunch of affiliate links. Whenever you're ordering something online, there's a chance that somebody creating the content that you watch here on YouTube has an affiliate link to that store. If you can change your bookmarks or your auto suggestions in your browser to their affiliate links, you never have to think about it, because you do have to hit the affiliate link before you check out. After you check out, it wipes it out. So yeah, do things, use affiliate links. It helps. It allows us to keep doing this full time. One of the perks of joining my Patreon is you get full access to the Discord channel, and in the Patreon only section, there is the Video Collective. In the Video Collective, you can post your edits or just random flying for people to watch. And when I do the giveaways, I play a couple of those. So we're going to do a little bit of Dingles and a little bit of Jesse Garcia. 7. 7/14/21. I don't think we played this one last time. Hold on now. All right, we're going to do 4. We're going to do the Electric G. But I got to know what Ice Planet Hoth is by Denzel the Terrible. I have to know. Is it just him flying in the snow? I bet it's just him flying. He's just flying in the snow. Okay. But it's a great thumbnail. It's a really great thumbnail. Look at this guy. Here I am. Quick flight over a frozen echo lake. All right, so we're gonna put these. Quick here. I'm gonna drop all 4 of these into the chat. Check these beautiful bastards out. These are the people that make this live stream possible. Folks that are allowed to post in this Patreon only Discord are literally the people that keep me going, and I appreciate that very much. So there are the links to all 4 of them. Go check them out. Give them a subscription. It's the least that you can do. I'm going to click on this, and that's going to open this, and then I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to click here, and there, and there, and there to update all of the Patreon jibby jabbies, and then I'm going to click here, 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 and here. All right, now I'm good to go. You guys watch some flying from some supporters, some patrons. I'm going to put on some Epidemic Sound so I don't get thrown in jail forever. And I'll be back in a few. Hold on. Forgot to hit this. There we go. There you guys go. A little taste of all 4. Go check them out in proper 4K. They look like crap coming through the live stream at 720. And you're not getting their audio with them either. So go check them out. Those are your buddies that make me, some of the people that make me, I don't know, man. I can't. The words tonight. The fucking words. Tommy BFPV is in the house. The words, guys, the words. Hey, it's giveaways. It's time to... It's giveaways, guys. It's giveaways. I gotta eat something. I am so hungry. My God, I have to stuff something in my mouth. It's a problem though, because when I'm shoving things in my mouth, I can't really talk. All right, no, I can't. It's literally impossible for me to say words, which is the whole thing that I do here, while I'm shoving things in my mouth. Here we go. Tinywhoop giveaway. Tinywhoop tier giveaway. Here we go. Look at this. Join Patreon so that you can win. Join Patreon at the $5 or more tier so that you can win, and eventually you'll receive this package in the mail and you will shit. You will go to your mailbox and this will be waiting for you, and you will poop in your actual pants. How, like, imagine you go to the mailbox and this is waiting for you. Would you not take a huge dump just on the spot, on the street? Mr. Blue Sky's in the house. He got his CiottiFPV Collective t-shirt, and oh yes, he says. Tinywhoop tier giveaway tonight. A set of the We Bleed FPV stickers. The We Bleed FPV rubber, super cool little magnet. Jesus, I am struggling, friends. I am struggling. Some of these little custom cut jibby jabbies for grabbing your motors. You got a tough to remove propeller. These are amazing for that. Hand cut by me. Brain 3D holographic sticker, FPV exchange card, and the star of the show, a full set of Speedix. I think these are 1103s. Let me take a look. Speedix 1103-ish. Yeah, 1103, 11,000 kV motors. With, look, beautiful little white motor wires. And they do have PH 2.0 plugs on them. Is that PH 2.0? That's not PH 2.0. It's JST 1.25 plugs on them. Let's see who's going to win. An awesome little set of... so these motors are 4-bolt, 9x9, I guess it would be. So yeah, these are more of a toothpick motor, although you could also do a 2-inch. These would be great, actually, on a 2-inch 2-inch Tinywhoop. None of the 65 or 75 millimeter Tinywhoop frames that I know of are set up for 4-bolt. They're all set up for 3-bolt motors. So yeah, these are going to be either toothpick or 2-inch whoop, which is pretty cool. What do I do now? How do I do this? What do I hit this button? Maybe I hit this button now. I think maybe I grab this goat now, and then what do? Do I click here? All tickets but one will be blown away, and the one that remains will win some fun Tinywhoop stuff. WOM FPV is hanging in on the top left. CMYK just got blown away right before my very eyes. Robert Gross is, well, he got blown away too. Sleepy CB, oh, he got blown away too. McMucus is hanging, nope, he's gone. Free Lojo wins. Congratulations, Free Lojo. You are the freest of all the Lojos I've heard. And let me just write your name down and I'll ship you some stuff. Free Lojo, there it is. Congrats, brother. Next up, we've got the 3-inch micro brushless and Cinewhoop tier. And we're doing a frame here. Same FPV exchange card and these little grippy grabbies and the Brain 3D logo sticker. We've got a We Bleed FPV battery connector, which is going to go great with the frame that's in here. I don't know what this frame is, though. Someone in chat will, if I hold it up to the camera. So I'm going to do that. This is the frame. Who knows what this frame is? Someone will know. That person is smarter than I am. So yeah, this little framey guy, and then we got all the carbon fiber bits for it in here. It's in an Axis bag, but it's just a propeller bag. It might be an Axis frame, though. It's a nice looking little frame. So yeah, frame with all the bits, some 3D printed jibby jabbies. That is the 3-inch micro brushless tier for the night. And let's come over here, and I'm gonna hit this button, and I'm gonna hit this button, and I'm gonna hit this goat. The goat scream is filled with energy. It was getting kind of dead, but it's filled with energy tonight. Stavel's hanging in. Frank Nicholas is hanging in. Stavel got blown away. Aaron FPV wins. Congratulations, brother. You've got the best first name ever, and you've won. AARONFPV. There it is. It's as easy as that, friends. That's all you got to do to win. Next up, we've got the 5-inch tier. Hey, the $20 5-inch tier only actually has 3 people on it. The odds of winning are pretty good there. In the 5-inch tier, we've actually got. Normally this is 5-inch parts, but I'm rapidly running out of 5-inch parts to give away. So we're just the value of the parts in that tier though are certainly here tonight. We've got the same kind of fun stuff here, little jibby jabbies, some jabby jibbies, but then we've got some 3-inch propellers. Why did I put these? No, these propellers, I'm mixed up. These propellers go to Aaron FPV. I put these in the wrong bag. These make no sense for the for that. They belong in there. This is a set of FPV Cycle 2104 6S motors. Since I'm running out of 5-inch stuff, and since these are really nice motors that are kind of expensive, this is going to be our 5-inch tier giveaway for the night. Technically speaking, these will absolutely turn a lightweight 5-inch prop. So these do kind of work in the whole 5-inch tier thing. But yeah, this is a fresh set of the FPV Cycle 2104s. I love these motors. These are what's on my DJI Cinesplore, and they are just awesome. This is the lower KV, 1620 KV. So you're going to want to run these on 6S. If you run these on 4S, you're going to want to put the either a 3.5-inch propeller or the 8-blade 3-inch propeller. But run them on 6S. You'll love them. And here is our 5-inch tier thing. There goes the goat. Aaron FPV is down on the left there. Jim Leopardi is in the top left. Propellant FPV is in the top right. None of the propellant just got blown away. Everybody I just mentioned got blown away. Flush FPV is hanging in on the bottom left next to Daniel Maurer. Chopper FPV on the right. Sleep CBR on the right. Nope. Chopper F. Whoop. The last one is, I can't see it. John Godwin, congratulations. Couldn't see your name. You were below the quad there. That's why that's why your ticket won. John Godwin wins. HNGODWIN. Hey, a lot of the stuff that I give away is actually viewer submitted. So if you've got some, don't just send me your junk. But if you've got some like decent stuff that you've been meaning to sell, but you're being lazy, feel free to send it on over and I'll give it away. It is much, much, much appreciated. Congratulations to all the winners. Now we are going to do the Super Chat giveaway that's open to anybody to enter. Yeah, if you want to send me some stuff, just hit me with your address and I'll hit me with just, wow, fucking A. Just message me and then I'll give you my address and then you can send some things on over. For the Super Chat based giveaway, Tweet FPV, if you're not subscribed to him, what the hell are you doing? Tweet FPV will make you a set of his custom cut skateboard grip tape grips for whatever transmitter you've got in whatever color that you've got. So that's super fun. And then I've got some stuff that I'm throwing. What am I doing with my hand? I'm just holding my hand awkwardly up like this. That's weird. And then what I've got for you is a bot grinder koozie. I don't even know if you can buy these. This might be like super limited edition, never before words. This is a more Tinywhoop themed super chat. Hey, so this is open. You can enter. It's $5 to get one ticket. It's $5 for ticket. $5 per... What is happening in the chat? I'm assuming that this is the same person that was spamming us last week. I'm just gonna hide them from the entire channel because I've had it. All right, there we go. Yeah, that was the right decision. That's too many messages. Sorry. It's a little terrible. $5 a ticket. Maximum tickets is 2. You can do a super chat here, or you can go to CiottiFPV.com and click the PayPal button and do a PayPal. Maximum tickets is 2, so $5 gets you 1 ticket, $10 gets you 2 tickets, and here's what you're playing for. CiottiFPV custom super transmitter super grips. Bot grinder koozie. This is a Beta FPV little XT60 charge board with 6 of these BT 2.0 leads. So you can do PH 2.0 here. That's what it's set up for. And then there's the BT 2.0 leads. Look, and it fits right in the koozie. Whoop. A set of 2 tweezers, one angled and one not angled. And then we've got the Weebleed FPV sticker pack as usual. The same kind of setup, FPV exchange card, and then something really kind of cool, something that I've held on to for way too long. This is the last thing that Bill from BQE did before he had some family stuff kind of come up. This is a frame called the Little Homie. This is a prototype frame, but it's done. I mean, he did all the work on the frame, and then he was sending a couple out to a couple of us that were doing some prototype testing with him, and then it just never kind of made it into full production. So this is pretty unique. There aren't many of these that exist, and this is, you know, kind of Bill from BQE's. Maybe, I hope he does come back, but yeah, this maybe is kind of like his last hurrah in terms of frames. It is a little carbon fiber Tinywhoop-ish frame. It's like one of these little garden rippers, right? Where it's got the TPU for the camera up on top. Really cool little frame design. His toothpick style frames are always more durable. So this is going to be like basically the most durable of this little garden ripper style frame. It's got a little homie sticker in it. And yeah, so this is a pretty cool one that is, yeah, probably kind of Bill's last hurrah, which is sad, but you know, life comes in the way sometimes, and that's okay. Like it's okay the Bill is putting his personal life first, and that's really important to do sometimes in life. And so, you know, on one hand, like it's great that he's doing that. It would be worse if he was ignoring the real life stuff and continuing to do FPV things. So, but all that being said, I wish all the greatest things to Bill, and I hope he makes a comeback and starts and gets BQE going again. Because yeah, they've got some great frames, and he's just a great guy. You know, so, but yeah, this is the Little Homie. I was holding on to this forever, but after building a couple of these this type of frame and really just not, personally, I just don't like the way that they fly. A lot of you guys love the way these fly though, so somebody's gonna love this. I just don't. I don't know. But yeah, somebody's gonna dig this. I know it. I know it. Let's get some of you guys on the, let's get some of your tickets going here. John Goblin with a $5 super chat. He says, roll me once. I will indeed, John. Thank you, brother. And add a couple couple spaces here. Bob Bruce with a $5 super chat. He'll go for 1. Thank you, Bob. Riot9 says 1 times respin because suspense. Thank you, Riot, for the support. There we go. And we got a little bit of 661 with a $10 super chat 2 times for the homies. Thank you, 661, once and twice. And then we got a little bit of Zanzilla the Terrible. He says 2 tickets on the crazy train, please. There we go. Once and twice. Thank you, Dan. And let me get my email fired up here for PayPal. Jesse Garcia with a $10 PayPal. He says 2 tickets, please. Thank you, Jesse. Once and twice. There we go. Add a couple more spaces here. And we got a little bit of Kevin Sumner. Wow, Kevin Sumner with a $50 super, PayPal. He says 2 tickets. Much sadness about BQE. Thank you so much, Kevin. Super, super, super generous. And he is going on the wheel 2 times. And then I'm actually going to take the rest and drop it into the Medicine Man Cometh Fund here, which would mean 4 goes to 8. Medicine Man Cometh Fund here is the quest for me to get health insurance this year, if you're wondering. Frank Nicholas says for PayPal, Linktree, CiottiFPV.com has a PayPal link. Thank you for putting that in there, Frank. Kevin Sumner says PayPal. CMYK says PayPal. Let's get this going here. Let me refresh my email. Woo! Struggle bus all aboard tonight. I apologize for the sort of low energy live stream tonight, friends. I'm trying my best, man. I am trying my best. But I realize that it's less than what you're used to. But hey, man, that's life sometimes. Life's imperfect. Sometimes you just got to tough it out when you're all banged up. My email is being awful slow, so let me hop over to paypal.com. And they won't do me wrong. Tronin says get some Red Bulls. Oh boy, that would be a nightmare. I have an interesting relationship with caffeine and Red Bull and shit like that. It basically, it hits me so hard, and it just does not go away. Like if I drink a Red Bull at like noon, I won't be able to sleep until like 4 weeks later. It's wild. Frank Nicholas with 2 times entry. CMYK, your PayPal is not even showing up on PayPal, which is weird. Did you PayPal someone else? Frank Nicholas with a, where is it at? $10 PayPal. He's going in there twice. It won't let me copy. Yeah, well. Thank you, Frank. Once and twice. There we go. Yeah, CMYK. It's I don't know. It's broken. Danzo the Terrible says, would an 03 ripsqueak be doable? Absolutely, it would be. The wider front standoffs of the ripsqueak would actually work really well with the 03 camera. Yeah. That's all I have to say about that, I guess. Matto Dirtskin with a $10 super chat. He doesn't even know what he's entering to win because he just got here. But he knows that I give away good stuff, so he's down to clown. Thank you, Metal. And once, twice. CMYK, I'm going to put you on here because it sounds like you want to be on. So I'm just going to throw you on here 2 times. And then it looks like things are slowing down, so we can probably spin the wheel in a second, but let's give it another few. And good to go. Oh, there's my emails catching up. All right, cool. And there it is. 2 of the show, CMYK says. 2 of the show. 2 of the show. The man says 2 of the show. CMYK obviously doing drugs tonight. I consider CMYK like one of my proper like close friends, so I can joke with him like that. I can mess with him like that without feeling weird about it. I wouldn't do that with with people that I don't talk to every couple of days. Two of the show. McMucus says, put me in for one. McMucus, what are you doing? You doing the PayPal? Let me come back over here. And 30 seconds, we close the thing down and we roll the wheel. Roll the wheel? We blow the tickets away. There we go. We blow the tickets away. McMucus, where am I looking? PayPal, or did I miss a super chat? Let me go back up. All right, I don't think I missed a super chat. Let me log back into PayPal. Like a dummy, I logged out of it. Marcelo FX says, two of the show for show. Show me the money. McMucus, I'm not seeing anything on PayPal. 661 says, am I on there 2 times? You should be. Yes, you're on there 2 times. 661. Here, let me leave this up. Sleepy CBR with a $10 super chat. He's going on there 2 times. Thank you, brother. And once and twice. All right, last call, friends. McMucus is finding his glasses. I'm gonna put you on there once, McMucus, because I think that's what you said you want. And then you can take your time finding your glasses to figure out either PayPal or Super Chat. All right, cool. We're good. Let me refresh over here and oh, come on, PayPal. There we go. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. Closing it down, hitting submit. And where's the thing? Here's the thing. This button and go! Somebody's gonna win a bunch of fun stuff and a really rare prototype BQE frame, and that person's name is not going to get blown away. CMYK is hanging in. One of his tickets just got blown away though. Sleepy CBR is still there. CMYK is gone. Jesse's gone. John Goblin. Did you just win twice tonight, John? No. That's John Godwin. This is John Goblin. Congratulations, brother. You have won the rarest of the rare little homie frames. John, if you're on Patreon, you're good. As long as your address is also on Patreon. If you're not on Patreon, though, you gotta message me with yo info. This pen has stopped working. Why? There we go. Yeah, so if your address is in Patreon, you're good. I can grab it from there. I always look there first. If not, CiottiFPV.com has all my contact info. And it looks like you have 2 H's in there. John Goblin. Yeah, message me on Facebook or Instagram or email me and say, yo, I won the thing. Here's my address and here's my email, and I'll use that to mail you out your stuff. Otherwise, I will take your stuff and make a little pile with it and light it on fire. So it's your choice. It gets burned, or you send me your info. I know which one I would prefer. All right, John Goblin, I think you're going to be messaging me because, oh, unless you don't have 2 H's on Patreon. I just searched for JOHHN on Patreon. That's not on there. I searched for JOHN, I'm not finding it. Goblin. What's your name on Patreon? I need to know your Patreon name. Because I'm assuming it's not... I can't find it with either Goblin or John. Unless it's in here and I'm just blind. Right, 9 says, my dress is on my underpants. Yeah, John, what's your Patreon name? I can't find you. Oh my god, I've got messages. How long have these been sitting here? Patreon, can you please fucking email me when I get messages? God damn it. Alright, I'm gonna leave this window open. I'll leave this tab open. Wait. No. Don't leave it open in here. You'll never see it again. Dummy. I can leave it open over there. Okay. Hang on 1 second, guys. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Will this fix it? Clear all. No, that's not it. John, hurry up. Tell me what your name is on Patreon. Last second questions, ask them. Otherwise, we're shutting this down. I gotta go eat something or I might actually die. I don't know what else to say with my mouth. 0.99 millimeter. Oh, it's John Godwin. All right. That makes things easy. You won twice tonight, my friend. And I'm going to take your this one and put it into this one. Look at you go. It's unbelievable that I couldn't like figure that out. It's absolutely unreal that I couldn't just put 2 and 2 together and be like, hey, it's the same person. They've got the same first name. Wow. 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 Don't do drugs, kids. Denzel the Trouble says, did I not say they were the same? I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Yikes. Oh, man. Don't do drugs, because you'll be even worse than this. This is, or maybe do drugs. Maybe this is a result of not doing drugs. McMucus says, did you get your $5? Did you turn off your video receiver? I did. Double deuce. There he is. Thank you, McMucus. And I did not unplug it, but I did remove the case from it. I did remove the case from the receiver, so it'll cool down. It'll stay cooler, in theory. Denzel the Trouble says, speaking of drugs, is that a pipe on your bench with the red tip? No. What, this? This is the is this the FPV cycle? Yeah, this is the FPV cycle, little jibby jabby with the 3mm flip flop for the 3mm schlim shlams on the FPV cycle Cine Glomp. Kevin Sumner says, I've got an AIO doing doing that weird stutter start thing on the Tool RC power supply that happens to one of yours. That's interesting. I'm glad it's not just me. That's so weird. I have about 1,000 Tinywhoop batteries that need discharging. But it ain't gonna happen right now because I'm just too goddamn hungry. So I love you guys. Bye-bye! We'll fly on Whoop Wednesday for sure. Thanks for hanging. Sorry that I'm such a human wasteland tonight. But I love you guys for hanging in there. And sticking with the world's most boring Monday night live stream ever. Nah, we talked about some good stuff. I'm being far too hard on myself. I'm going to eat this Sour Patch Kid while I make some other food. Thank you, world, for worlding. Night, friends. Here's some more random flying from Florida. I hope you enjoy it. Bye-bye. Well, here's just the end of that battery from before with the Cinewhoop. This sunset was amazing. This is shot in flat, so you really can't see it. But once this gets color corrected, this sunset was pretty rad. Thanks for hanging, friends. I love you. Be good. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Blah, 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 blah. Bye-bye.